So how many times do I say, hey, I'm getting everything prepped the day before so that the next day there's no rush? Today is not that day. I'm not prepping the day before. I have all this pork belly here. I believe it's about 8 pounds of pork belly. You can see it's cut into strips. And I'm going to be smoking this up because we're going to be making some pork belly tacos. So we're going to season this up, go outside, fire up the Lone Star Grill's offset, smoke it up, give it probably, 4 or 5 hours to really get nice and flavorful and tender. Then we'll bring it in and build some great tacos. In fact, you may notice that I didn't do a ton of prep for this because there's still some ice crystals on this. This was thawed. I took this out of the freezer 2 or 3 days ago. It's been in there for about a month or so. So there are still some ice crystals on here, but you know what? Sometimes you just got to roll with what you got. Everything isn't always going to be perfect and on time. You just got to get it done. Now the seasoning I'm using today is Lucky 13 from Baby Jake's Barbecue. We're just going to start seasoning everybody up, rolling everybody around in here. Just a quick little thing here. If you've never used pork belly before, this is what bacon is made from. You can see that sort of bacon profile there on the cut. Sometimes you'll get pork belly that has the skin on. The skin has been removed here. That skin is good for making cracklings and things like that. Pork belly is great for tacos. It's great for a lot of things other than just making bacon out of it. Because I'm turning this into tacos, that's why I chose this rub. It has a little bit of a tang to it. I thought that would go good in sort of the taco flavor profile. Yeah, this is pretty chilly here, this pork belly still. But you know, I've done a turkey that's still kind of not 100% thawed. I've done brisket that's been not fully thawed. Just takes a little more time. All right, let's head out to the grill, fire it up, and get this pork belly smoking. All right, the Lone Star Grills is up to temp. My target today is 250 degrees. I've got about a half a gallon of water in the cook chamber, and we are burning hickory today. So let's go ahead and get our pork belly on. Try and get most of these fat side down. Some of them are just going to want to lay the way they want to lay because of their shape. All right, let's get this closed up. We'll let these get smoking. We'll come back in an hour and check. Probably spritz. If we do, it's going to be with plain water. And we'll just keep an eye on them, checking them every hour until they get to that state of tenderness where I want to get them in a pan with some good sauce to really get a good glaze going on them. See you back here in about an hour. All right, we've been going 1 hour. Time to check our pork belly. Definitely going to spritz it. It's a very dry day, pretty warm day today, upper 90s. So I think we're going to have to add to that moisture in the cook chamber. Looking nice, looking really nice. But it's pretty easy to see on the surface here. We do have some dryness, so let's spritz. And the process continues. We're going to close it up, let them keep smoking. We'll come back in another hour, probably spritz them again. See you back here in 1 hour. All right, we are 2 hours into this pork belly cook now. Temps holding really steady, right around 250 on the Lone Star Grill's offset. Let's go ahead, take a look at our pork belly pieces. Maybe we'll do a quick probe for tenderness just to see, but I know it's going to take more time to get where I want it. And we're also probably going to spritz. Smelling really good. Let's just do a quick little probe for tenderness here. So I can still feel resistance there in the meat part. See if you can see that temp right there. We're 148 internal still. Still needs more time. Let's go ahead and spritz. Guy kind of tipped over here. Let's move him that way. All right, we're going to get this closed up. We'll come back in an hour. And at that point, we'll start to make a decision if it's time to wrap or not. Might be the 4 hour mark. We'll see. See you back here at hour 3. All right, we are at the 3-hour mark. Let's check our pieces of pork belly, and usually around this time is when I wrap them or put them in a foil pan with that sauce, some honey. That's what we're going to add too. Cover it up and put them back on for a couple hours, but we'll see. We'll see how they're doing. So let's take a look. Those are pretty gorgeous. Wow. The color is exactly what I want on those right now. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and wrap these. Go ahead and get these in my big foil pan here. This is actually a double foil pan because I really like to prevent any sort of leakage from the bottom if that happens to get punctured. Everybody fit. First, I'm going to add a little bit of just our spritzing liquid water, maybe half a cup. And I've got some Kinder's organic mild barbecue sauce. Probably going to add, 16 ounces or so. Also going to add some honey. This is a chaparral honey that I have. Maybe a quarter cup or so. And I am just going to get in here and toss everybody around to get coated. Let's get some foil on here. And get this back on the grill. All right, I'm going to get this closed up and I'm going to let it go for 2 hours before we check it. All right, we've been going 2 hours in our foil pan, total of 5 hours. Let's check our tenderness. If it's ready, what I want to do is then put it back on the grill for about 30 minutes to set that glaze. Oh, wow. Those look good. So some probing here. Yeah, that's feeling pretty darn tender there. Let's get these transferred back onto the grill. All right, I'm going to get this closed up and we're going to let these go for 30 minutes just to sort of set that glaze. All right, we've been going that final 30 minutes, 5.5 hours total. Let's take a look, but they're coming off. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, these are coming off. They're going to go in a foil pan covered with foil and rest for about 30 minutes. In that time, we're going to get a couple other things ready for our pork belly tacos. Then we're going to slice some of this up and make some delicious food. Now, our pork belly tacos are going to have a jicama apple slaw. Trust me, this is so good. Few ingredients to it, obviously jicama and apple, also some carrots, some apple cider vinegar, some agave, things like that. So let's get started. Now I have 2 small Granny Smith apples here and some jicama pieces. You can start with a whole jicama if you want and break it down. I've just got like 6 of these pieces here. They sell these in my local Trader Joe's, so they're really great to use to break down for things like this. So let's get our jicama chopped up first. Just going to line these all together, and I'm just going to do sort of a rough chop here. I don't want these tiny, and I don't want them huge. Just like that. And I'm going to take these and add them to my carrots. That's about 3/4 cup of shredded carrots I've got there. Now for our apples, we're just going to break these down. Not going to peel these. First, I want to get them sort of in strips here. And if you want really big chunks, you could do slices. That's about what I'm looking for. I think we're only going to use 1 apple today, not 2. I think that'll be plenty. Now I also want to take a lime here, and I'm going to squeeze the juice of half of a lime in here. We're going to add about a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. We're also going to add about a tablespoon of agave syrup. I'm just going to get in here with my hands and mix this all up. All right, that's ready. Let's move on to our pork belly. All right, I have a piece of our pork belly out here. This is probably going to be enough for 2 or 3 tacos. Quite a bit of pork belly I made. May not use it all for tacos, may end up vacuum sealing and freezing it for a later date. But we're going to go ahead and slice up here. I'm not waiting, I had to steal a taste here. That is really good. All right, let's start building some tacos. All right, I have 3 tortillas here in my taco holder, and I warmed these up. I'm actually going to put some of our slaw on the bottom, not on top. I want that pork belly shining through on top. This adds such a nice brightness to this and crunch. Plus apples and pork go great together. Now some of our pork belly in here. Load it up with as much as you want. Probably go with 4 pieces in each one here. Could go more, but I don't want it to explode. Now I want to hit this with a little bit of cotija cheese. Cotija is a really nice sort of salty, briny cheese. Finally, some green onions on top, some sliced green onions. Now, some people would load this up with some salsa, some sauce. Yeah, you could if you want, but man, this pork belly, I want that to shine through here. I've been waiting like 6 hours for this, so let's dive in. Here we go. Was it worth the wait? Was it worth being out by a 250-degree smoker in 97-degree weather for 5.5 hours? Heck yeah, it was worth it. The pork belly turned out perfect. That slaw is so nice with it. Like I said, a contrast. The softness of the pork belly, the crunch of that slaw with that apple marrying perfectly with pork. Loving this.